welcome to another farm video, guys. My name is Hank. I make farm videos and I just work on our two family dairy farms here. Milk 120 cows on one and 700 at the other one. Stick around and let's see where the day goes here. Picking up bales right now. I'm not sure what we'll be up to this afternoon. Be sure to subscribe. Had to grab my radio. Nope, it's stuck. Mike got tractors all unhooked from Lang's carts here. The rest of the pavement for the feed pad got laid out, more asphalt. It's the 83 on the hammer mill, Mike's been grinding through the cow. Dad's got the 4055 on a set of double wagons. I got our 7520 with E-range and a set of doubles here. Probably fit like 30 or 35 bales on these. Six, 12, 34 on that wagon, on those wagons. Kurt's in the skill oiler, he's got his S650.
Are these going in the old part of the machine shed? Well, the new part's for the horse, so. Shouldn't need that much room for a horse.
Alright, so now we're gonna stack the barn full. Mike's gonna stack Larry's full. Got the S650 with hand controls. This one's usually on the mixer. They used to mix with it all the time. For the day, so we're gonna start loading up some bales before you guys gotta leave them out the cows.
I think she might be up in class also. Looking around. Oh,
did the switcheroo. I'm in the S650 now, loading bales since Kurt had to go now. I lucked out that Uncle Dan filled in for me. I'm a slacker. So we're just gonna group bales for a little bit here. Until the wagon comes back. Marty jumped in that wagon.
drop here 94 acres of it over here in Kenny too, huh? This is like Christmas in July for me.
Another switcheroo. We're back in the 7520, fully loaded, 32 bales, headed to the dairy. Fresh new seal coat as of yesterday. Yeah. We got the wagons unloaded. We are all caught up for the night, so thanks for watching this video. As always, life's too short, so consume dairy.